Let me tell you a story that, if you ever wondered whether power is about the badge or the person, this will stick with you. Picture this. I'm FBI. That's what he told the cop. You know what answer he got? I don't care. 10 minutes later, guess who was in handcuffs? And it wasn't who you'd expect. Yeah, that happened, and let me back up a sec. It was 6:42 in the evening, golden hour painting Dinwiddie County, Virginia, in that soft summer light. Kids wheeled past on their bikes, sprinklers ticked over patchy lawns, and Malik Townsend just wanted to get home. He clocked out of Norfolk 2 hours earlier, nothing but paperwork, endless meetings, stale coffee, the sort of shift that makes you feel your age. Now he was just 20 minutes out, rolling that black Dodge Charger through quiet, sun-dappled streets, aircon humming, mind empty, not even music on, just the world and his own tired heartbeat. Then came the lights-no siren, just a flash, and a county sheriff's SUV pulled up on his bumper like it had a point to make. Malik felt that familiar pressure in his chest. You know that feeling, right? Not his first stop, but that never made it normal, not here, not for him. He flicked the signal, eased over, killed the engine. Windows down halfway, hands high on the wheel, deliberate, practiced, every move careful. You learn that, depending on who you are and where you are. You learn not to give anyone an excuse. The officer approached White, built like a linebacker, sunglasses even with the sun almost gone, right hand resting just a little too close to his holster. No hello, no evening, sir. Just, you live around here? Malik kept his eyes front. Edo. The cop cocked his head, skeptical. License and registration. Sure, Malik said, slow and steady. Wallet's in my jacket, registration in the glove box. Gonna reach for them, all right. No answer, just that stare. Malik moved, deliberate, placed both items on the dash, then handed them over. Mind telling me why you stopped me? The cop barely glanced at the paperwork. You were creeping through the neighborhood. Creeping, he said, like that's an actual offense. Malik tried to hold back a laugh. I was going 28, just heading home. The cop didn't buy it. You got something in the car I should know about. That's the moment things shift, you know? When it stops being about the car and starts being about the driver. No, Malik said, voice flat. Now, excuse me? The cop leaned in. Is there any reason you're acting nervous? Malik shook his head. I'm tired, not nervous. Been working since 7. Just want to get home. That didn't cut it. Step out of the vehicle. For what? No answer. Just authority flexed like a muscle. Malik took a breath, made a choice. Officer, I'm a federal agent. FBI badge and ID in the wallet. If you just... I don't care who you say you are. The cop snapped. Out of the car now. There it is, the moment you realize this isn't a misunderstanding. Malik held up the badge, gold shield catching the last bit of sun. Special Agent Malik Townsend, Norfolk Field Office. I'm on a threat. I just want to get home. The officer never glanced at the ID. Just keyed his radio. Male refusing to comply. Claims to be FBI. Requesting backup. Now is a spectacle, not a stop. Malik knew the next move, seen them before. In court cases, in after-action reports. He stayed calm, didn't twitch. Sir, you're making a mistake, he said, voice granite solid. But this cop Ellison, his badge Rita, was the kind that knows just enough to swing his authority, but not enough to know when to quit. Get out of the car. Hand where I can see them. Malik stepped out, hands up, calm but pointed. I'm not resisting. I'm on a threat. You need your supervisor here right now. Ellison shoved him, not hard enough to knock him down, just hard enough to send a message. Malik stared him down, didn't budge, didn't flinch. I'm not warning you as a civilian, he said. I'm warning you as a federal agent. This is all getting reviewed. Ellison didn't care. You threatening me? No, Malik replied. That's a warning. Seconds later, Ellison spun Malik around and cuffed him tight. Too tight. The neighbors were watching now. A woman froze, hose in hand. A guy with a dog stopped, phone out. Some teenager was filming from a porch. Malik caught his eye, didn't say a word. Just let the camera roll. I want to be very clear, Malik called out, loud enough for everyone. I am Special Agent Malik Townsend of the FBI. I am being detained unlawfully. I have not resisted. This officer is violating protocol. Ellison sneered. Keep talking. We'll see what your story is once you're in the cruiser. That's when the radio buzzed back up, 2 minutes out. Ellison twisted Malik toward the hood, leaned in close. I don't care who you say you are. You don't belong here. And if you're lying, you're going down hard. Malik, ice calm, answered, you don't get to decide who belongs. That badge doesn't let you disrespect mine. The second cuff clicked shut. The street was silent now. Even the bugs had gone still. Then came the backup 2 cruisers, fast and flashing. A woman stepped out of the lead, car uniform pressed, hair tight, eyes sharp. Lieutenant Karina Voss. She took it in. Black man in cuffs, white officer puffed up, neighbors watching, cameras rolling. She walked over, cool as you like. Status. Ellison barked out his script. Suspect was acting erratic. Claimed to be FBI. Refused orders, non-compliant. Voss just looked him up and down, then looked at Malcolm, composed, not saying a word. Then she saw the badge wallet on the car roof. She picked it up, flipped it open. 2 seconds, that's all it took. Her eyes flicked to Ellison, then to Malik. Special Agent Townsend? Malik nodded. That's right. Ellison looked like someone kicked his knees out. You cuffed a federal agent? Voss said flat. Ellison sputtered. He refused my commands. Was scoping out homes. Someone called it in. I followed protocol. Voss was cold. What part of protocol says you ignore a federal ID and cuff someone without verifying credentials? Ellison's mouth opened. Nothing came out. Voss turned to Malik. Agent Townsend, are you injured? No, just disrespected. Officer Vega, uncuff him. A young officer stepped up, fumbled the key, finally got the cuffs off. Malik rubbed his wrist shred sore. Are you carrying? Voss asked. Off duty. No weapon. Ellison tried again, but it was over for him. Lieutenant, he didn't identify clearly. Was the car stolen? No. Was he aggressive? No. Did he resist? He had an attitude. Voss raised her brow. An attitude? Long pause. Give me your body cam footage now. While Ellison stomped to his cruiser, Malik leaned into Voss low. You saved him. He was this close to making the wrong kind of memory tonight. She just nodded. That wasn't policing. That was ego. Malik looked around, neighbors, cameras, witnesses. He wasn't humiliated, just aware, painfully aware of how sideways it could have gone, who would have been blamed. Ellison handed over the camera. Voss pressed play. Everybody watched, shed no sound but the cicadas and the cooling engines. Malik's voice, calm, respectful, measured, was all over that tape. Voss's jaw tensed as it played. You violated protocol, she told Ellison, face flat as stone. You escalated without cause, ignored a lawful ID, unlawfully detained a federal officer. Ellison fumbled. He had an attitude. You ever think maybe that's from being pulled over for driving under the speed limit in his own neighborhood? She was done. I'm reporting this to internal affairs. You're relieved of duty, effective immediately. Ellison blinked like it didn't compute. He wasn't used to this kind of consequence, especially not in public, but Voss didn't care. Vega, take Officer Ellison into custody. Standard procedure. Handcuffs. Miranda. The street was dead silent. Even the birds, as Vega cuffed Ellison. You could hear the click louder than it should be. Malik leaned against his car, wrists throbbing, the world spinning differently now. Not just a bad stope of reckoning. Voss came over. I'm sorry, Agent Townsend. No excuses. This shouldn't have happened. Malik just nodded. Don't pretend this is rare. Voss nodded back. It's not. But today people saw it. That matters. She offered him the option to file a complaint. Go through bureau channels, Malik said, but I want all the footage. You'll have it, she promised, already sending files. Malik watched the video, saw himself on that screen steady, controlled, refusing to give anyone an excuse. Then a voice behind him, Jaden, the teenager. You were real composed, man. Shouldn't have to be, Malik replied. Jaden's eyes held something, a cocktail of fear, respect, anger. If it was me, I don't know if I could have kept my cool. Malik said, you don't have to prove you're calm to stay alive. But sometimes you do. As Malik started to leave, Voss called out, I'll need a statement. Here or at the station. Malik shook his head. Tomorrow. Right now, I just want to go home. Before he got in, He looked back, asked the question every one of us wants to know. You think anything will actually happen to him? Voss crossed her arms. I can't promise discipline, but tonight I can promise truth. Sometimes that's how accountability starts. Malik did no triumph, just reality. He drove off slow, window down, letting the night air fill his lungs. Voss watched the Charger vanish, turned back to Ellison in the squad car. She charged him formally unlawful detainment, excessive force, failure to follow ID protocol. Ellison tried to plead. Come on, Karina. She shut him down. You didn't care about truth. You cared about control. As the cruiser pulled away, a few neighbors clapped. Not for the arrest, but for the fact that someone finally stood up. Jaden stood by Voss. Think he'll lose his badge? She looked down. Depends on who's watching. Jaden nodded. They're watching now. He held up his phone. The next morning, Malik's phone blew up a row. Reporters, internal affairs, everybody wanted a word. But Malik just sat with his coffee, watching that video again and again. Watching what happened, what could have happened, how quickly it all turned because someone stepped up. Justice isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just someone showing up, refusing to sweep it under the rug. If you're listening to this and thinking, that could have been me, yeah, you're right. It could. That's why it matters. Every time someone holds a badge up, not as a shield, but as a responsibility. So record. Speak up. Share. Because respect isn't about a badge. It's about how you use it. And the next time someone thinks their authority is a shield from consequence, remind them, real power doesn't need to prove itself. Now let me ask you who was right, who was wrong, and what would justice really look like if it happened on your street? Drop a comment. Let's see who's really watching.